If you want to take your performance in FPS games to the next level, then changing to a Pro controller is probably the first step that you want to make. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the controller options out there and review a BattleBeaver custom that I've used for a year. Hi, my name is Sam and welcome to my channel where we talk about tech, gaming, and everything else in between. If you like what you see, then don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload. Be it a Scuf, Xbox Elite, or BattleBeaver controller, using a Pro controller will make you a better gamer. A Pro controller offers many different features, all of which can improve aspects of your game. So that you can really understand what they do, let's start by breaking down some of those features. Starting with back control functions, be it a paddle or a button, having the ability to remap buttons to the back of your controller allows you to keep your thumb on the right stick at all times. This will help keep your aim and your focus on your enemies and reduce any delay that using your thumb to click buttons causes in battle. An example of this being if I need to jump or reload. I have back buttons mapped to both of these functions, which mean I can keep my focus on my enemy while still performing these actions. Next, we have trigger stop or trigger click, which is a feature that reduces the amount that you need to pull your trigger to fire your weapon. A click being significantly faster than pulling the trigger all the way back. This improved time can be the difference in any in-game battle. It's worth noting that if you play racing games, you'll want a full range trigger, as this can dictate your speed. However, for FPS games, you just want to click so you fire as quick as possible. The final example we'll give is adjusting the height of your thumbstick. A short thumbstick is designed for quicker movement, whereas a tall thumbstick is designed to give you a more precise aim. The difference in thumbstick height changes how much any movement impacts the angle. 1mm to the right on a 2cm high thumbstick has a bigger angle than 1mm to the right on a 3cm thumbstick. Yes, that is Pythagoras, and yes, maths has its applications in gaming. As I said earlier, those are just a few examples of where a Pro controller can make a difference, and whilst each feature only offers a slight difference, combined, they can turn you from Timmy to Turner. So with that being said, and there being so many different controller options out there, which one should you get? Well, I've used my BattleBeaver controller for a year now, so let me give you my thoughts and feelings towards it, compare it to other options, and then let you know what controller I think you should get. So let's start by taking you through the spec of my controller and how much it costs. Our base build was the Xbox One S Pro controller. We put 4 rear buttons, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, at the ring finger and primary position, with the ring finger being placed at high and the primary position being set to standard. We then add in a remap chip, meaning we could change the assignments of these buttons ourselves, and we also selected for these buttons to be quiet/soft. We disabled the impulse trigger rumble and the rear handle rumble so that we got 0 vibrations in the controller. We set the thumbstick tension to extreme in both the left and the right thumbsticks. And then the final performance boost, we set both triggers to smart triggers and also upgraded our bumpers. The remainder of the build was all for aesthetics. We generally went with a blue theme and swapped out the Xbox logo for a custom Sam Dalabona logo. This controller took 75 days to arrive, even though it was estimated at 4 to 6 weeks, and cost $291.29. This amount then got reduced to $275.72 as they got my custom logo the wrong way around, and that equates to around £206. But in that price, that does include $32 of shipping to the UK, so the price without shipping is $243.52, which is around £181. For reference, the Xbox Elite 2 controller at the time of purchase was £160 and would have been delivered within a day, as it's always available on Amazon Prime. And then a custom Scuf comes in at £205, £217 with delivery to the UK, and from the moment of being ordered, it would arrive in 11 to 12 days. But going back to the BattleBeaver controller, let's talk about what I like about it and why I chose it instead of the other options out there. Firstly, out of the mainstream brands, it's the only one that I saw that really offered click triggers. This meant that the triggers were like mouse clicks, which is as fast as a controller could be. Both Xbox Elite and Scuf have adjustable stop triggers. This means that you can change how far back the trigger is pulled, and at the fastest option, whilst it does feel fast, it doesn't feel as fast as the mouse click. I have a Pro Fusion controller, which is a budget Pro controller option, and it also has adjustable stop triggers. At the shorter stop distance, it feels nowhere near as good as my BattleBeaver. Second, the BattleBeaver uses buttons on the back instead of paddles, and you can have a total of 6 instead of 4. In my experience of using paddles, whilst they function correctly, as you can take them out and adjust the position, they tend to move around and fall out, and overall just don't last as long as the button. So the fact that BattleBeaver allowed for buttons instead was a main pro for choosing it above the rest, and it's a feature I've really loved whilst using it. But with that being said, that's where my main pros list ends and we start to talk about the cons. The only performance con that I have is the increased tension thumbsticks. Whilst at first these performed amazing, and in comparison to a regular Xbox controller you could definitely feel the added tension, it definitely starts to wear away over time, and unlike the Xbox Elite 2 controller, there is no way to increase the tension back up. The Xbox Elite controller comes with a little tool which allows you to change the tension manually, meaning you can always check if the tension in your thumbsticks is as high or as low as you want. I'd really love if my BattleBeaver also had this option, because right now playing games, my right thumbstick definitely doesn't feel as tense as I'd like it to be. So away from performance and features, the main con with the BattleBeaver controller is the customer experience. As I mentioned at the start of the video, my controller took 75 days to arrive from the day of ordering, and it only comes with 30 days warranty as standard. On top of that, these controllers aren't even expected to have a long lifespan. I was having issues with my controller back in October where it wasn't quite connecting properly, so I checked BattleBeaver's website and it actually said that professional partners that play 8 hours a day need a new controller every few weeks. They have since removed this from their FAQs, but having a controller that's only meant to last a few weeks, costing as much as it does and taking 75 days to arrive, well, that just doesn't add up. I actually reached out to BattleBeaver to find out the full process in getting it repaired, and it wasn't pretty. First, the turnaround time for repair on a controller is 8 to 10 weeks, and that's after they've received it and checked it into their facility. And then on top of that, you have to pay a default fee for any repair and also a fee for any replacement parts. That's just a big yikes. On top of this, with all the other customer experience issues, in comparison to Scuf, Xbox Elite, and even Razer with their Wolverine, the website just doesn't hold up and is not nice for a customer experience. It's just clunky and cluttered and leaves you confused to not know what you really want, which I feel is especially important for new users. And I know that has nothing to do with actual performance, but when you sell a product at this price point, well, there's a certain expectation that there should be a website that you can easily navigate. With all of that in mind, should you buy a BattleBeaver controller, and is it my Pro controller of choice? Well, no, absolutely not. In terms of performance, I think this controller is solid. Whilst I'm no pro, I truly cannot complain about how this controller has changed my game, but this definitely isn't enough to disregard the other issues: delivery times, warranty, overall customer experience. It just isn't worth the stress and having to wonder whether your controller will only last a few weeks. And then if it only does last a few weeks, having the extra stress of trying to get it repaired. So with all that being said, my recommended pro controller choice is the Xbox Series Elite 2. Whilst it does not have click triggers or buttons on the back, it's cheaper, has 1-day delivery times, and comes with Amazon/Xbox fantastic customer service. Should you order the item of Amazon and it breaks, Amazon will send a replacement out in a few days. And failing that, if you need to get the controller repaired by Microsoft, well, it's not going to take 8 to 10 weeks like it would with BattleBeaver. So, whilst I've enjoyed using my BattleBeaver controller, when it breaks, I'm going to be picking up an Xbox Elite Series 2. Granted, I haven't tried the Razer Wolverine or a Scuf, but with the issues that I face with BattleBeaver being around customer support, I think I'd rather go for a household name like Microsoft and Xbox. And with that being said, we've reached the end of this video. I hope you found this video informative and have been able to take away enough information to help you make a purchase on your next Pro controller. This is only the second long format video on this new channel, and I'm really enjoying the process so far. Just a little reminder, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell notification icon so you're notified when I upload. And if you didn't enjoy the video, have any feedback for me or different thoughts on the controllers that I've spoken about today, then let me know in the comments down below. I'm always looking to improve my production quality and my video quality, so I'll take all of that on board. But with all of that, thanks for taking the time to get to this point in the video. I hope to see you next time.